Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video in my trading robot review series where I review the 100 most expensive trading robots and compare them to the 100 cheapest trading robots on the MQ5 market. Today I am going to be reviewing the EA Black Dragon MT5. It has a $30 price tag, so it is one of the cheapest ones on the market, and it has an MQ5 rating of 4.5. Remember that if you want to check out the list, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description. Okay, but let's get into it. First thing we're going to do is copy the name, head over to the MQ5 market, copy in the name, and here we have it. EA Black Dragon MT5 actually has a rating of 4.7 out of 218 reviews. Wow, that is a lot of reviews. It was published in 2021 and it has over 7,300 demo downloads. Last time it was updated was actually on the 26th of August, so that's not too long ago. That's like 2 months ago. It was made by Ramil Miniak yeah, okay. Okay, so the first thing I see here is that we have an important message saying to contact the author immediately after the purchase to get instructions and a bonus. Now this is definitely a little bit of a marketing trick here, and also I'm not a huge fan of the fact that I apparently have to contact the author after purchasing to get instructions on how to use the train robot. I would much rather prefer instructions or set files being provided up front, because otherwise how am I going to test the trading robot effectively before purchasing it? But yeah, this will definitely make me give this a marketing rating of 0.2, I think. Alright, so let's take a look at the pictures here. We have a quant analyzer portfolio report showing a profit of 1.25 million, drawdown of 14.3%. I'm not sure if that's equity drawdown or if it's balance drawdown. We have a winning percentage of 71% over 2,800 trades. It seems like it's from the beginning of 2021, maybe from the end of 2020. We see here that it looks to be trading on multiple different currencies. Then we have another screenshot showcasing monthly performance in dollars. That's a little bit useless as we don't really know what the starting deposit was. Then we have a screenshot from a live signal, it looks like, from what appears to be a real account at Forex. We see a drawdown of 46% and a return of 6.1000%. Profit rates of 67%. Interesting. We see that the signal has only been live for 11 weeks. It says here that there was an initial deposit of 5,000 and he's withdrawn over 73,000. That's very good if that's the case. Says, but the reliability score is very low. I'll have to look into this in a second. Here we have a screenshot from what it looks like in the strategy tester, I guess. Looks to be taking quite a lot of trades, but that makes sense since it had almost 3,000 trades over like a 2.5 year period. Another screenshot from the strategy tester with even more trades on. Wow. And another screenshot from the strategy tester with a ton of trades on as well. I mean, I do like that it highlights the profit and losses of each trade, but it looks to be taking very small trades, so we'll have to see about that when we get into the testing. I think the pictures are pretty okay, but they're not great, as I don't really know what settings was used to achieve any of these results. Also, I don't know whether this drawdown is balance or equity drawdown, and I don't know what the initial deposit of this screenshot was. This one might be the most useful screenshot of them all, but I'm not sure if this signal is still live. We'll have to see about that in a second. And then we have 3 of these screenshots which are almost identical. I mean, I think the first one is good, but I don't know why we would need 3 of them really. And we don't have a video introducing the strategy or anything like that. So I think I'll give the pictures and video rating a 3 out of 5 based on that. So let's take a look at the description here. I see that it is using some kind of Black Dragon indicator. I suppose that it might be an indicator that the author has programmed himself, and now he's just made an trading robot using the indicators. And then we see that we have a link here to the seller's portfolio. We see that he has quite a few trading robots, all of which has pretty decent ratings, I would say. We see he has some signals here. And I see. Okay, so here we have the EA Black Dragon go to 5,000, which is the signal that he was posting about here, which has a 6,100% in profit here, but as you can see here, it only has 210% profit, and you can see it has only been live for 1 week. So this is a brand new signal, which is telling me that this account probably crashed, and this is telling me that we might have some kind of martingale strategy, or a strategy that is not using any kind of stop loss. We can also see here on this signal that we have a 70% drawdown, which is certainly quite a lot. Other than that, we do see some input values here, a description of each input value, so I like that. It seems to be quite a few input values, but that's okay. But the problem is that's like all I see in the description. I don't really see much of a description of what the strategy actually does, other than it uses an indicator to take trades. And I don't really see any set files or instructions on how to set up the strategy, which I guess is what you need to contact the author for, but I'm not really a huge fan of that. So I think I will give the description a 2.5 out of 5, because he's also just added a new signal, and that is a big red flag to me at least. So let's head over to the MT5 platform here and find it over here so we can test it. Let's just press download demo, and we are good to go. And let's find it here. Black Dragon. Oh, it's EA Black Dragon. Here it is. And then let's take a look at the input settings here. Yeah, we do see quite a lot of input settings here. Wow. Right, so I mean, he does have a description of each of the input settings and like describing what they do. But there's no set files, and there's no description of how to actually set up the trading robot. And with this many input settings, that is certainly going to be a problem for most people. So I think I'll just be going with the default settings here and then seeing how that performs. But I think this is very problematic, and I mean, you can see here in the comments as well, I couldn't find any set files in here. But you can see there's a lot of other people asking for the settings and people saying they've lost money and whatnot because they haven't had the right settings. But at least the author is actually responding to these people, so that's something. But yeah, I mean, you can go here to the seller's side, and there's no publications either on how to set up the trading robot. There's no description here for the settings that this trading robot or this signal is using. So I think I would give the input settings a 2 out of 5, only because he actually does have a description of each input setting, but otherwise I would have given it a 1 out of 5. Okay, so I'm actually not entirely sure what symbol I should test it on and what time frame, but I did just look at the pictures that he uploaded here, and this is the picture of a US dollar 1 hour chart, so I guess I'll just go with that and see where that leads me. So let's start with trying it in the visual mode here. Right, so as you can see, the trading robot is just right away opening a ton of trades here. This definitely looks to be a scalping robot for sure. You can see we have a pretty decent overlay here, which looks pretty nice, I must admit. It's clean, but as you can see here, the robot appears to be taking a lot of small losses, but also a lot of small wins. So that is, at least it's actually taking the losses, right? So it doesn't actually appear to be a some kind of grid martingale system without a stop loss. But I don't see a stop loss or take profit, so there's no like hard stop loss or hard take profit, but it's just all a black box, so to speak. So there's some coding for when the trading robot takes profit and when it takes a loss, but we're not entirely sure of what that is. But this definitely looks like a trading robot where you need a very tight spread, so you need a really good broker for this. So let's try and run a test from 2022 and see how long that takes without the visual mode. Okay, I am back. As you can see, the backtest took 5 minutes and 9 seconds, which is quite long, especially because we might actually have to do a lot of testing and even some optimization on this trading robot, as the author has not provided any set files or anything for us unless we buy the product. So if you actually want to know whether this is a good trading robot or not, and whether you can optimize it for your broker, then you're going to have to do all the testing before buying it, unless you just want to spend $30 and then get the set files from the author. So I think I'll give it a testing score of 2.5 maybe, because I did actually like the visual testing. I found that quite interesting, but yeah, the back test is just, it takes too long. So let's get into the interesting part, which is of course looking at the performance of the backtest. Wow, as you can see, we just have a straight line down. I don't even think I've ever seen anything like this. This is just like literally a straight line down. This might be because of the spreads. I know that the spreads in the Euro-US dollar was not exactly that great during 2022 for this broker that I'm currently using, which is FTMO. So maybe I should do another test on just 2023 where I know the spreads were quite a lot better. So I think I'll just do that and see if the robot performs any better. Okay, so I just did a new test for just 2023, and as you can see, it's still just a straight line down. So the better spreads didn't really help that much. I mean, it's not as bad as 2022, but it's still very, very bad. You can see here we only have 29% win rate, and yeah, you can see 49% balance drawdown. Yeah, all of these stats are just completely terrible. You can see we have almost 1600 trades. Yeah, I mean, maybe we just don't have the correct input settings. I mean, maybe the author even on purpose provides bad default settings so that people are more inclined to buy the trading robot and get the input settings from him, seeing as the price tag is only $30 and maybe people will be okay with just paying that up front without actually knowing what they're getting. But I would certainly not do that. And this performance is absolutely terrible, so I will give this performance a 1 out of 10, I think. Now, obviously, I could have contacted the seller, maybe gotten the input settings before buying it, or maybe I could have done some testing and more optimization runs to figure out what kind of settings I should be using to get better results. But I don't think that should be a normal part of a review process before buying a trading robot. I think these type of things should be provided beforehand so people can make a good assessment on whether this trading robot is something that they want or not, and therefore I give it the low performance rating. Let's go ahead and fill in the ratings in our trading robot comparison list. We had a 0.2 marketing score, we had a 3 out of 5 pictures and video score, we had a 2.5 description score, and we had a 2 out of 5 input rating score, we had a 2.5 testing score, and a 1 out of 10 performance score, which gives us a total rating of 11.2. Yeah, now that's not exactly that great, but hey, that is also the good thing about doing these reviews, right? I mean, we get a good look at the trading robots up front, and we can decide on our own whether to spend money on it or not. So at least that does save us some money, I would hope so. And if you do like and enjoy these review videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. That would mean a lot. And also make sure to check out the description for all the useful links, such as a link to the list, a link to the trading robot that I'm reviewing in each video, a link to my own trading robots if you're interested in seeing those, and also a link to the introduction of this whole list and why I'm doing this and everything. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.